Hola, yo estoy en Medellin, Colombia. I arrived here last night from Jardín. And yeah, I slept pretty well, and I'm going to give you a little tour of the place that I'm staying at. Okay, here she is. We're going to start with the cocina first. We have a touchscreen refrigerator. Nothing yet. I'm going grocery shopping today. Here we have the kitchen, and then it has everything you need in here, literally. We have our rice cooker, our blender, our kettle, hot plate, coffee maker. Why do I keep calling this a crock pot? There's definitely an air fryer, and then our like sandwich presser. There's a microwave over here. And then, yeah, this is the room. There is a washer in here, no dryer, so you're gonna have to let your clothes air dry. Let's look at our view. Wow. Okay. And then we have a nice size TV. And there's a lot of drawers in here. Like, there's drawers everywhere. I unpacked my suitcase, put everything in the drawers. Here is a mirror. Okay. And then this is the shower. Yeah, it's really cute. Super cute, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's gonna be a pretty chill day for me. I don't have anything planned other than to go to the supermercado, so we're not spending money on food every day, and we can cook some things. I got here pretty late last night, like I said, and I was sleepy, so I ordered some food. They don't have DoorDash, but they have like multiple different apps. The app I used was Rappi, and I got me like a pasta and a drink for $6 USD. And I also ordered some water because I'll be damned if I'm going to the supermarket and I'm carrying a case of water back here. So yeah, I just got me a little case of water. Should last me for a little bit. The water bottles are pretty big. But yeah, I'm gonna take you along with me to the supermarket. Hey loved ones. So based on my research, I was told El Poblado was one of the more safer neighborhoods, and it was. Maybe just not at night and alone, which I'll get to later in the video. Everything was pretty much in walking distance, so I either walked or got into an Uber. There are a lot of restaurants, malls, convenience stores, grocery stores, and pharmacies nearby. But coming from someone from the United States, everything was pretty cheap, pretty inexpensive. I'll make a separate video about how much I spent on this trip. The weather was in the 70-degree range around the time I went, which was the first week of January. It did rain on and off a lot, but majority of the times I was still able to go out because it would stop or it would be like a light rain.
Hello. I make one anklet for my friends. This.
Don't mind my feet.
Okay. Similar. Sin. Here. 3. 3. More short, maybe.
Tighter, yeah.
See?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I spent most of my time in Medellin resting due to me doing a lot in Jardín. I did spend about a week out there, and I also did get bitten by something on my knee, which I had an allergic reaction to, so that required some rest. So when I did go out, it was for a walk to see what was nearby, to get groceries, and to go to the pharmacy to treat my bite. My last day, I spent walking around the mall. It was beautiful and it was huge, which is why I spent the whole day there. So here is where I tell you about the robbery that took place. After I had spent all day at the mall, I had came back home and made me something to eat and decided that I wanted a snack. I wanted to go to the store. It was around 8:30-ish, 9 p.m. Probably wasn't the best idea, but we listen and we do not judge. I felt pretty safe in the area, so I did get a little comfortable and decided to go for a walk outside. The store was about maybe like 10 minutes, and I only got maybe 2 minutes or less in distance before a motorbike pulled up on me. Everything happened extremely fast before I could even react. So everything is pretty much a blur. I pretty much blinked out a lot of the experience. It was very scary. I can't recall how many people exactly, but I know that it was at least 3 or 2 people minimum. I was brought down to the ground. Someone had came behind me, brought me down to the ground. I think there were at least 2 people on top of me. I was on the phone with my homegirl at the time. While I didn't have my phone visibly out, you could tell that I was on the phone. I was speaking to someone. So all I pretty much remember was me like trying to hold on the phone, saying like, please no, like, please just, yeah. And there was a machete present. So once I seen that machete being waved in my face, I did eventually give up the phone and they ran off. Someone nearby did witness it and walk me back to my apartment, which I was only a few feet away from. I had crossed one street and then there was another street, and as soon as I stepped foot on that other street is when I was approached. There's a lot of things to be grateful for. I still have my life. I made it home safely, and I also had my wallet and my passport strapped to me on a strap-on bag, but I did have like a big sweater on, so maybe they didn't see it, or maybe they just wanted the phone. So I did get back to my apartment, and the people at the front desk did call the police for me. Of course, they didn't care. This is probably something that they deal with all the time and they can't do much about. So they took forever to come and nothing really happened. So I just went back to my room. Luckily, I had my laptop with me, so I was able to call family and friends and book a flight home the next morning. I do not want this story to discourage anyone from solo traveling. That is not the intent. This is just a big lesson that I had to learn, something that I experienced. Everything was perfect and I felt safe. Maybe just going out at night is not something that I will do again. Besides that scary experience, this trip was beautiful. The people were kind and patient, being as though I didn't know as much Spanish as I thought. And I would definitely visit again. But y'all know I'm the big sis that always has to learn stuff the hard way so that I can come here and tell you all what not to do. Thank you for tuning in, and I will have more content about my experience solo traveling for the first time in Colombia.